They were chosen to be at an age when they could leave their children with the grandparents or with other family members, and to have the experience and wisdom as mothers to care about the future of their region. The adage they followed is one I learned in the Rainforest Eco Escuela in the Petén region of Guatemala, where I spent a summer in an intensive sustainability Spanish course. Give a man a fish, and he will sell it and use the money to buy booze. Teach a man to fish, and he'll quit early and go get drunk. Teach a woman to fish, and she will teach her man and her children and the entire community and organize fishing trips and go fishing herself, and everybody will be well fed. That is subaltern humor at its best. After a delightful day sharing our solar-powered songs about solar power and listening to the women perform in multiple languages their detailed, self-composed song and puppet shows about how to build solar cookers and what their benefits are, used by the women back home to help teach others, particularly those who are illiterate, I ended up in Bunker Roy's study, having a carafe of wine until 2 a.m., talking educational philosophy. At one point, because I was so enthusiastic about what we had experienced in our days there, I flat out asked Bunker for a job. He smiled sadly. "I very much admire you and what you do," he said, "and I would love to have you work with us, but there are several problems. The first is that you're male. That in itself isn't a terrible thing, after all, I'm male. But we have been focused now on only hiring local males from the village and otherwise building our teaching staff with women who have experience in this field. We need more women teaching engineering. And then there is the fact that you've been poisoned. We're only hiring now people who didn't have formal education in orthodox institutions of so-called higher learning, and thus can truly relate to our students. You come from America. Your training was at colleges like Harvard and UCLA, and so despite your very laudable efforts to relearn the world and see it through others' eyes, you can't help but be biased by your upbringing. Where some institutions look at your degrees as extremely valuable for a sustainability teaching job, our policy is to look at them with extreme prejudice, as indicators that you suffered through that formal education process of brainwashing against environmental and social justice and true sustainability, that it is extremely hard to break free from. It will take you decades to unpack all the garbage that you were fed and purge it from your system, and I say this with great love and admiration. My great hope is that you will take a teaching position in one of those so-called top universities in your own country and help reform them. Bring the techniques we've proven work so well here at the Barefoot College to your home and your dysfunctional culture, and make sustainability education really work there too. Because you can. You, unlike so many others, actually do know how. Needless to say, it was one of the most sobering conversations and caring employment rejections I've ever had. And I followed Bunker's advice to the letter, because he also said, if you can teach the Barefoot College way in Europe and America, you will be working with us, working to make the world a better place. So in a sense, I feel I am very much working for the Barefoot College right here at PCGS. And much of that work is helping spread the perspective of subaltern studies. I want to open your eyes to the work of leaders in the field like Ibrahim Frantz Fanon, the French West Indian psychiatrist and political philosopher from the French colony of Martinique, who wrote the classic 1961 book, The Wretched of the Earth, describing how marginalized and conquered people are so often deliberately driven to violence.